On this episode of Punks Talk Wrestling, we talk about our personal Mount Rushmores of WWE, the single greatest piece of merchandise we own, and the amazing era of vacancy. I am R.W. Hellborn, one half of your Punks Talk Wrestling tag team hosts, hailing quote-unquote from Philly. And as always, by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England, he is my tag team podcast partner, the only person I know who keeps his oregano in his garage, the proper prick, CJ Newman.
Did you know that the Did you know that the WWE was originally known as the WWF, but had to change its name?
I did know that due to we none of us can talk now. Due to the legal whatever it was, the legal lawsuit. The lawsuit from World Wildlife Fund.
Did you know
or World Wildlife Federation?
I didn't have one ready for this episode, and I just had the time of the intro to find one. And that's the best I could fucking muster. So.
Well, you know what happens? We blew one of the good questions. We blew like 2 or 3 questions in an earlier podcast. I caught you a little off guard there. Yeah,
it totally caught me off guard. I was not ready. I was not prepared.
That's right. You were not ready to rumble.
No.
Or ready for a. But you know what? That's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right. The intro is over. Sometimes you're not ready. Sometimes you just get called to go out. It's like you're on in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Go.
So you're going out there. You're cashing in. You're doing it now. It's
cashing in, going out. Figure it out. Let's just roll with it. It's all right. Hey man, it's that kind of day. We're kind of rolling. We're kind of rolling with things today. We're not doing anything that we might have said we were going to do. We're doing something completely different. We decided we're just gonna ask some questions of what we like, and go from there.
Just talk a bit and chat a bit and just
get back to the root for our 10th episode, for our historic 10th episode. We wanted to just once again talk a little bit about ourselves.
The pants are off this episode.
The pants are completely off.
But the thing is, you see, you say that in America, that means one thing, and in the UK, that means I'm not wearing anything at all on my. I'm wearing nothing.
Does that mean really pants off? Pants off means completely bare birthday suit.
Pants to us is underwear, so.
What?
Yeah.
The word pants is used as the same way that we would use underwear, like boxer briefs.
Yeah, we just call them pants.
You call them pants, or like a G-string.
You heard of the word trousers before?
Trousers. Yes, we've heard the term trousers.
Yeah. Do you use the word trousers?
I think we use trousers as a term for like. I always thought of trousers as a certain type of pants. Like trousers are more like rugged and like not necessarily they were a type of pants.
Okay, so to us, your pants in America are trousers.
And trousers are pants. Pants are underwear.
Yeah.
And you don't have underwear at all. Don't say the word underwear.
We can call it underwear too. But we also call them pants. But we do not call trousers pants. Yeah.
You don't call
if I was out at a restaurant and I spilt something on me, I'd be
your trousers.
Spilled on my trousers or my jeans if I'm wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Just say jeans.
But jeans are a type.
Jeans are a type of trouser.
Jeans are a type of trouser.
But
this
you guys, jeans are a type of pant.
But it's punks talk about the difference between British and American slang as well.
Punks talk fashion.
Punks talk fashion. Hey, we could create a spin-off.
Yeah?
Punks talk.
Whatever. Yeah, punks talk. Orion's just bumped into my microphone. Don't bite me, you little dick.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go.
since we're flying by the seat of our trousers. Why don't we just get into it?
Let's get into it. Yeah.
All right.
Would you? Well, all right. So, would you like to just get? Should we just get to these questions? It doesn't have to be a long thing.
Yeah, let's do some questions.
This is one easygoing episode today. We're just chilling, you know.
I don't know how we're gonna start this one.
We're just a couple of dudes being guys today, you know.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, let's make it reasonably quick fire, unless we obviously go off on a tangent, which will probably happen very, very quickly.
Immediately.
Some questions might be easier than others, but here you go. What is your favorite wrestling theme song of all time?
Ooh. Okay. You got these are not going to no answer is going to be quick with me because every question I have
some might be some
of them might some might be just instantaneously like when you my favorite theme song of all time.
I'm trying to
going
think
back from like from a kid up until it's. Hold on, I'm scanning through. Like my brain is like flipping through the Rolodex of like audio.
Just like you're like going through your iTunes, playing like the 5-second
my iTunes
preview.
Playlist, like the skip. I cannot think. I still to this day cannot think of a theme song that when it comes on, I get so excited to sing along.
Okay.
Then Robert Roode's Glorious theme.
Oh, that's it. Oh, right. I mean, fuck yeah. That's a good theme.
It was so perfect. I loved it so much for him.
That's
a
dark horse character right there. I didn't expect that.
I did. Yeah. My next favorite,
Hold your horses, buddy. I didn't ask you a second favorite.
Well, you're gonna get most of. You're gonna get a second and probably a third favorite too. It's so hard because they're generational too. Like I've been in it for so long that I have to pick my top three to be able to pick my one.
Okay, I hear that.
So, you know what I mean? So I have to internalize this, I'm externalizing it.
Yeah, definitely externalizing it. Yeah.
Robert Roode's Glorious theme.
Okay.
I think Macho Man's theme was just pomp and circumstance. Like, but his entrance was so grand.
Yeah.
Like that's what I loved about his theme. I mean, Ric Flair's is great, but I'll tell you who's better. Ric Flair's theme is going to be number 4.
Okay.
It's going to be an unpopular opinion.
We've got a top 4 now.
Well, it's in the top. I guess it's got to be my top 4. Yeah, Ric Flair, Robert Roode, Glorious, Randy Savage, and Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you. You gave me 4. Here's my 4, and these are no particular order. Okay.
Mount Rushmore. We're gonna turn. Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of wrestling themes. All right.
For you, yeah.
So it's straight up there already. The Roman Reigns theme. I fucking love it. I think it's. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like you've gotten to the last level of a game. That
is boss level theme.
It's boss level theme, right? It's like shit. I don't know if I can do this. Like this is gonna be difficult.
It has the perfect breakdown. I even made a workout routine at the height of my this is something I don't really talk about, and I was gonna post on Instagram about my exercise stuff. I haven't done it in a long time. What's that? Yeah. What did you say?
You should definitely do that still.
Yeah, I definitely should. I definitely will.
Yeah.
But I started making a workout routine to Roman Reigns' entrance theme. It's a upper body it's push up dominant, and I'll that's maybe something I should release. I'll release that
definitely.
We could do a Roman Reigns. This is how long ago that I did this, actually. I was going to post this in the Comedians of Wrestling.
Wow, that must have been a while ago.
When it first started. Yeah, this was when that theme
first came out.
First came out. And I was
3 years ago.
at the height of my working out. Yeah, 3 years ago. When did the tribal chief?
It must have
come
been
out?
around. He when he returned, he didn't have it, but I mean, 2 months later, I think he did. So it should have been about 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
2019.
Nope,
2020. 2020. Sorry.
2020.
End of 2020.
Yes, because I was using this. Yes, because this was actually. Now I remember it was the motivational theme song for after, because 2020, at the beginning of 2020 is when I had my surgery.
Right. Yeah.
I had my hernia surgery. So I had to, and before that, the end of 2019, I was legitimately in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like I had my Finn Balor Halloween costume down pat, abs and all. I have documented proof of this, which
It's true. I saw it. You were pretty good shape.
Oh, that's right. You've seen that picture.
Yeah,
I have shared that picture with you once. Yeah, that was from like, I think that was like November. It was pretty much like this time, 2019. So 4 years ago at this point. Shit.
Damn.
Then I had hernia surgery. Right after that was when my son was in the hospital with his collapsed lung, which, that was crazy. And then right after that was the pandemic. So that.
It's quite the year.
Yeah, that was quite a knockdown at the beginning of the year, and that, like, because I had that everything that I know this is kind of getting into a long-winded thing, but like surprise.
Oh yeah. Shock horror.
Well, you remember when I came to visit you in England in 2018. That was right after my motorcycle.
Yeah, right after. Yeah.
And that was the heaviest I had been then, because I had basically been laid up.
Dude, when I saw you in 2018, and then when I came you came to England in 2017.
2017. That was
yeah,
after
when I
motorcycle
saw you in
accident,
2017, and I saw you again a year later. Holy fuck! You lost like half yourself.
Yeah, I went from two. I was over 220. I was almost 225, and I went down to in 2019. So in like a year and a half, 2 years it took me about.
Yeah.
I went from 225 down to 165 at my lowest.
I mean, there's that picture of us in the World's End in Camden, remember? And we all got a picture taken together.
Yeah.
You find that picture, or I'll find it later and send it to you. Like, dude, you're pretty big, man.
Yeah, I'm chunky.
Yeah.
I'm pretty chunky.
It's kind of crazy.
I'm like, yeah. And not in that thick boy good hot way, just in
dad
that
bod.
In that you've been on the couch drinking beer, and like my beard was like the worst.
Yeah, your beard was huge. Yeah.
My wife and I look back at it anytime pictures from that era pop back up.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe you let me in public looking.
I'm doing the same lately now. Actually, I've hit my mid-30s, and I'm looking back at pictures of me with massive beards, only from like a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? I actually looked homeless at parts.
Yeah,
you know?
It was that punk rock homeless phase.
Yeah, it was, right. It was a thing at the time. At least I'm telling myself that it was a thing at the time.
Well,
it was
definitely. Well, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing in Philly punk, and I mean, it's still a thing in all punk.
Yeah, I had that going, and it was a big fucking. And you know what?
Yeah, it was. Honestly, it was one of those. I wasn't. I don't want to get too much into that, but like, I'm glad I am treating my body healthier now than I certainly was 10 years ago when we started.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I asked you what your favorite theme song.
Favorite theme song. We went to.
And if you've never listened to this podcast before, well, that's kind of everything.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns was my first one. These are in no particular order. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Right up there, definitely. Evolution's theme. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah. I mean,
good.
It's hard for me not to pick any of the
Motorhead ones, right?
Theme songs just by default.
But I like the Evolution one actually more than I like Triple H's.
Yeah, I do think out of all the Triple H Motorhead themes, because there was 3. There's Evolution, there's The Game,
and there's King of Kings. That's right. Yeah.
I think Evolution was the coolest. It was the most Motorhead. It was the one that was most like a Motorhead song and not like a wrestling theme song.
Yeah, well, all of them feel like songs because they all. I was listening to the game the other day, and it's got like, like most theme songs repeat after a point, but these songs actually have different verses and a bridge songs with like a solo and shit. They're songs. Yeah. They're not a theme. They're songs as an entrance. They're entrance songs, not entrance themes. Yeah, exactly. And my fourth would probably be... Well, four's a random, but I guess it's a Mount Rushmore. You know what? You know what? This is weird, but do you remember Undertaker's You're Gonna Pay one?
Oh yes, it was the secondary American
the royalty free version. Yeah.
Yes. So it was after they stopped paying Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
right. Yeah. Actually, no. I was thinking of Kid Rock. Yeah.
Oh, they had Kid Rock. Then we had Limp Bizkit. Then we had.
I was less concerned.
Then we had like Jim Johnson royalty free version, and there were two versions of that though. There was like the one where it was like had vocals and you're gonna pay whatever the fuck it. Yeah. There was one before that had no words, and I actually liked it more. And for some reason, it's always held a soft spot in my heart, and it's a really dark horse, but I really fucking like it.
Damn. Well,
and it just kind of there's someone just soloing through the whole fucking thing, and I think it sounds cool. So.
I'll have to look at it. Well, see, these are things that we should put links to as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Here's another one. This might be just one theme, and if you can't think of one, it's okay. But what's your least favorite theme? Which is quite a tricky one.
That's tricky. Ooh.
I don't know if there's any themes I don't like, although there's definitely I don't know.
That's a good trick one. Let me think about that. There have been. Oh, that's rough. Well, this is going to be. I don't even want to go down that road.
Now I want you to.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I'm not critical of the person. I'm more critical of the gimmick and the fact that the gimmick has overshadowed the wrestler. And that's Karrion Kross's gimmick. Karrion Kross's entrance.
Okay.
That's not his theme song. I guess it's the theme song. I'm not a fan.
But the whole Fall and Pray thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that theme.
I guess
because I'm not a fan of that gimmick because it doesn't. I don't see what is the gimmick. There's still never been a clear.
No.
What is he?
Well, I think he needs to.
What do the crows mean? Why are you so fascinated
He's not,
with?
I feel like this. I feel like there is something there, and I feel like you know what it is. I just feel like, as the kids say, I taught you this one last week, Ralph. He needs time to cook.
Yeah,
let him cook.
And you know what they were trying to give him time to cook when they brought him up and put him in a mask and took away the whole entrance theme, and then everybody exploded on the internet and can't stand the fact that they would do something like that. Like that's the bubbling up of vomitous regurgitation, dude. I was the most interested. No, but I was the most interested in Karrion Kross I had ever been.
Shit, if we had anything for Hot Take, the Hot Takes episode, this would have been.
This was a hot take. This should have been on the Hot Takes episode. I don't know how it missed it, but bringing it back to go back and listen to the Hot Takes episode to get some hot takes too. This would have been a real hot take.
Well, you kind of actually answered my fourth question which was
Okay.
your least favorite gimmick. Because I'm going to guess it would be this.
So we'll answer that. We'll take that as the answer to that question, and
All right.
we'll roll it back.
We'll roll back.
Continue
Let's think on the favorite theme thing.
No, I
All
still
right.
want to talk about how much I dislike Karrion Kross for a minute.
Okay, yeah, carry on. Poor guy.
No, man, I
you know what? He
really
seems
wanna
like
like
such a
him.
nice dude as well. He actually
He
just seems
does,
like a
and
really
listening
nice
to his
guy.
interviews, I started. I can't think of the guy's name right now, and it's going to be embarrassing.
The Van Vliet guy.
Yes, that
Delay?
guy.
I
started
always
following
pronounce
him.
his name wrong, but him. Yes.
Yeah, I started following his Instagram. I haven't yet actually listened to any full interview.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I've
they're
been
good.
getting
They're
the
on
clips of
YouTube
them.
and stuff. They're really
They're
good.
great. Those
Yeah.
are great interviews. I love that dude's interview style. I like the
He's
questions
good.
and
He's
how
good at what he
asks the
does.
questions.
Yeah.
He's really good at what he does. Anybody.
You know who had a
that's
really
listening to
good
us that
fucking
doesn't know it.
theme was Maven. Do you remember Maven's theme?
Yeah.
And it was proper 2002, but we can go back there sometimes.
It was
It's fine.
pretty. Are you
2002.
saying you didn't? Are you saying you didn't like Maven's theme?
No, I loved it. I loved it.
I loved it. Yeah, but it wasn't
Yeah,
your
yeah.
top pick. It wasn't your top pick.
No, it wasn't top, but it was a good theme. I give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put Karrion Kross back in that mask.
All right. The
Let
Gimp mask,
Scarlett wrestle in NXT,
yeah.
and then everything will be fine.
Let's take a swerve here. We'll come back to the
Let's take a
least
swerve.
favorite.
Oh
theme.
yeah. Well, wait, you didn't answer the question.
Because I
What
don't
was
know
your-
either. Oh wait, my least favorite gimmick.
Your least favorite gimmick? Yeah.
Ah shit. Oh god. I'm really bad at answering the ones where like things are bad because I just don't. I just think everything's great.
You know what? Well, you want to know? I'll give you another gimmick that I don't like.
Okay.
To give you an out.
All
And
right.
you can just agree whether you like it or not.
Okay.
Here's what. Well, when Chauncey returned,
Oh, I could give you one I don't like, but carry
Chauncey
on.
Blackheart just returned.
Yeah.
And like she had her head shaved by some. I don't remember what happened, but she like lost all her hair, and then she came back as exactly the same, with just a different hairstyle, and literally everything is the same.
But she's crazy now, man.
Except
she's
she
crazy.
just yells a little differently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She yells differently during different moves.
Yeah.
Like that irritated me more than anything. The gimmicks that irritate me, like that. I shouldn't say it. I was excited. I was excited because they were teasing her return, like, and that I love when something happens and it drives someone crazy and then they change.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to seeing something different, and it was just Chauncey with a different haircut.
It is.
That's disappointing.
I mean,
I still like her. as
she's
much as
great.
I've
I
ever
just,
liked her.
I don't know. Everything they've
But-
ever done with her, I've always felt as fallen and flat is for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she could be fucking great, man. But
No, she's great she seems to be pretty good in the ring. She seems solid.
yeah, it's a shame.
I was. I guess that's a total tangent, but that's a thing with gimmicks that I don't like.
Here's a gimmick
overall,
I
is
didn't
when-
like. Was when Baron Corbin was with JBL. Didn't like it.
Yeah, that fell.
That
flat.
was like the crowd. Like talk about no crowd reaction. Holy
Yeah.
crap! The crowd just didn't give a fuck. They just didn't care. Didn't care.
They did not care, and I kind of get it.
Yeah?
Like,
It just didn't.
I
do
get why it
anything.
fell flat.
Yeah, I
no,
completely get why it fell flat. It didn't. It felt completely forced. That's why.
But I
it
like
didn't
that they were
feel
trying.
organic.
But they were trying.
They were
tried
trying, I
something,
give it,
they
but
tried
they-
something, it didn't work. And now what they got with the new Baron Corbin is the best Baron Corbin. So
Oh
far.
yeah. Apart from bum ass Corbin, that's one of my favorite gimmicks right there.
bum ass Corbin to Lucky Corbin.
Yeah.
was one of the slickest.
It's so good.
That was so good.
Again, it's one of those moments.
About a great gimmick transition.
It's one of those
yeah.
moments where you talk shit about Vince McMahon, but that's good stuff.
That
man.
was good. That's some good
That's
shit.
good shit.
That's
Yeah.
good shit.
Yeah, that was though. It was good shit.
That was some good shit for real.
Let's swerve around here. Another question. Boom. What's
all right.
Undertaker's best WrestleMania match?
Oh. Well. Not versus Giant Gonzalez.
No. or Jimmy Snuka, or Mark Henry,
not
or
versus
A-Train
Jimmy
and Big
Snuka.
Show. They're all terrible matches.
Not during A-Train and Big Show. Yeah, not him. What was the one where he was in a? Was that A-Train and Big Show was the tag match?
That was the handicap match where Nathan Jones came out.
He came back at the
at the end. Yeah. That career went a lot.
Poor Nathan Jones. Like that was.
Yeah,
they must have. They must have really lost steam with him. Whatever they were pushing him with, they must have really lost track.
They tried. They really did try.
After that, there was nothing. Like he was done after that, right?
Pretty much. I mean, they really. I mean, Undertaker came out with. I don't. Yeah, he came out with Limp Bizkit at the fucking show, and they, and it was just it's not a good match.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a good match.
I mean, the obvious one
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Right, we're all gonna say it.
I think
WrestleMania. Which one? The first one or the second one?
The first one where it was like
WrestleMania 25.
White Knight. It was like the White Knight Shawn Michaels.
Angel.
Yeah,
WrestleMania 25. I mean, probably one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. Period. Let alone Undertaker.
That's the one, and that's the one that they did. The WWE Network did one of the greatest things that I love.
I think this is the third time. It's only been 10 episodes, and you brought it up 3 times. But go ahead.
When the cinematic match.
Yeah.
Whatever they did, the cinematic match filming that they did.
Yeah.
That I want that for everything. I say this as many times as it comes up.
Yeah.
Give that back to me, WWE Network. Fuck Peacock.
I think it's still on the network, so I apologize.
All right, well, time to get to VPN.
Yeah.
I keep saying that
too. Saying that too, yeah. You say that every week, though.
If we can get NordVPN to sponsor our podcast,
yeah, we could definitely plug it easily with that, couldn't we? I could just get NordVPN, and then we'll sponsor NordVPN on our podcast. We won't worry about getting sponsors. We'll just sponsor the things that we want to sponsor. But we think are cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like our Yeti Blue microphones.
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Who's your most underrated wrestler of all time? I'm not going to do the overrated because I think that's really unfair, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I think overrated. Because overrated always has a negative connotation.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think underrated's good. It's just someone that was so good that they had much more to them to give, and they never really got the opportunity to shine in the way they should have done. So
yeah. Brian Kendrick. I think I would have loved to have seen him shine even more and get to like a Rey Mysterio level where he's just like Brian Kendrick should have been Brian Kendrick should have had an IC title run.
I hear that. Yeah.
He should have gotten I loved his work always. I mean, he's one of those guys that I don't know why he didn't just get a little farther, but he could have had a real solid like IC run or US title run.
Yeah.
In this day and age, he would have been perfect. I don't know what his status was at the time, but why he wasn't involved in the 24/7 title stuff. He might have already been he's a trainer now, right? Or
I'm not sure what he's doing now. I'm not too sure. But
he had a gym. I know he had a gym at one point, and he was training. Wasn't he training Edge?
He was training someone, but I can't remember.
He was training someone for a surprise return.
He was, yeah, and I can't remember who that was, but he was training someone. You're right. My underrated guy, or girl, but in this case a guy, was just because he will never be rated correctly to me. It's just our truth. I just think he's the kind of guy you don't know what you've got until he's gone. And he just gets taken so much for granted, and then he'll go away, and he has been with an injury, and I feel like everyone just forgets that he exists, and it's I'm clamoring for the day that R-Truth just pops up again.
Yeah, but I think it's wonderful that he positioned himself into that role.
Yeah.
There was a time where R-Truth was trying to be too serious, it made him like kind of angry, and angry R-Truth just. He was just another angry tough guy.
Another guy, yeah.
You know?
The great thing is he had that brief kind of serious storyline with John Cena where he got a main event push. He was a main event with pay-per-view, and I'm really happy that he got that.
Yeah.
But after that started the little Jimmy stuff, and that from that day forward, his character has just been...
changed forever.
Spot on. I just...
When he embraced that, I was so happy for him, too, because that's a thing now that he owns...
Yeah.
And no one that's what happened. He got himself over with it finally. He's so over. I mean, we talked about it in the other episode. He was still in that Old Spice commercial. He was in the 24/7 title picture so many times.
There's always a space for him, man. And the thing is like
always a space
a lot of guys and girls, you know, don't get me wrong, you should always aim for the top and aim to be the best you can be, but R-Truth has found his spot as general like court jester of the WWE, and he'll be remembered forever for it. And I wouldn't, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he makes his way into the Hall of Fame one day. I mean, the guy's not only that, but outside the WWE, he's a former NWA heavyweight champion, for fuck's sake.
Absolutely,
the first black NWA.
Let's not forget about
champion.
that. He is, amongst many other notable names. Yeah, you know. That 10 pounds of gold has been around his waist. Yeah,
exactly. So he's got a lot to call, you know, like, but I still think, you know, in some ways, in some weird ways, he is underrated. I just think a lot of people don't. It's hard. You know what? It's fucking hard to be funny in professional wrestling. It really is. And he is so good at it. Yeah. And he's so good at it. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
Man.
He can. He's so and he's so likable as a person. He's so good. He never had. He doesn't have an ego.
No, not at all.
At this point, not now at least.
No, especially not at this stage in his career. Yeah.
And you're right. I love the fact that he could show up at any time and just be, and everybody's gonna be happy to see him.
Yeah.
He can come out. There is a spot for him on every Royal Rumble. I don't care whoever else you think you want to put over in a spot. R-Truth can come out and grab a ladder in the Royal Rumble.
I saw a really good...
And I will always love it.
I saw a really good post, and someone said they would love it if just one moment the WWE would work with AEW just to have R-Truth turn up on Dynamite and could declare that he's in the Royal Rumble.
Yes, I would. That'll happen. I mean, that will certainly something like that can definitely happen once WWE buys AEW. Well, not WWE. WWE won't, but Endeavor. When Endeavor
buys,
because that's really what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess eventually that could definitely be a thing. Yeah,
I think they're gonna buy it. Well, or WWE can buy that from within. I mean, it'll happen. Just
something like that will happen. Who has the best merch? Who's had the best merch?
Ooh, over time.
I guess, I guess what I'm asking is, like, not who's had the best piece of merch, because I think that's quite well known, but who has generally had the best merch pretty consistently? I think, that's quite a difficult one.
That is tough. Every bloodline relevant merch. The only piece of merch, but they had one of the worst offenders as well.
What was that?
Best fucking merch. I'm wearing right now the best piece of merch that WWE has ever created. It is the Roman Reigns wreck everyone and leave sleeveless hoodie. Sleeveless hooded t-shirt. It is the greatest piece of merchandise. It's so comfortable. I don't know why they don't have literally every single piece of artwork they have available on this, because I would buy so many of them. Riverside Odds is stealing this design for real. I'm gonna.
Oh, really?
It's. Oh yeah, we're literally gonna release a Rock Everyone and Leave version where
Because
instead of the
I guess Austin had that first, right?
I mean,
'Cause
it's not
he had the Arrive, Raise Hell and Leave.
Yeah, I
t-shirt,
mean, it's not. It's a design that is. It's a design that is just typographic. It's a typographical design.
Words. Yeah,
I'm just gonna change the words, and I can parody is covered by a U.S. copyright laws and whatever. I don't care. They have the best piece of merch, but the worst piece of merch in Bloodline in the Roman Reigns and Bloodline history is that greatness on a different level mode when he was going through that god
and
mode.
You know
and he
what
still
really
wears it every once in a while. I hate it. It's as
no,
bad as the core.
No, he doesn't wear it. He doesn't wear it anymore.
No, but they use it on the graphic.
That's what I'm talking about. Why the fuck?
Why the fuck do you have that?
Just change it. Just change the graphic on the fucking t-shirt.
Put his logo on his chest.
Just his most recent t-shirt on the fucking
right.
Yeah. Why is it so hard to do that?
I think because they have so many of them in stock that they're
trying
care.
To just put the
dude,
just stop it.
Burn all of dear WWE, burn all of those greatness on a different level shirts.
Yeah,
or send
really
them to a third world where people need shirts. I don't know. That's what they do. That's what they do with all the other shirts. I mean, dude, all those shirts for the losers of the Super Bowl and the losers of the World Series and stuff. All those T-shirts and stuff are already made so that people can buy them at the end of the night when they leave.
Yeah.
All those other T-shirts get, from what I understand, they all get donated.
So what you're trying to tell me is that people in the third world have an alternate interpretation of how the world actually went.
Yeah, they probably
They think that the other team won every single year.
They probably they live in an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Or they don't even know what any of it is. They're
That's
like,
probably
thanks
the
for
second
the free
one.
Thanks for the free shirts.
Yeah, I think it's probably that one.
Colorful. Hey, nice. It's colorful. I like
yeah. Go New York Giants.
Go. If I knew any teams that played in any of those recent events that lost that I could reference, I would. But I
mean, if you don't, I certainly fucking don't.
I can't tell you who played in the last Super Bowl, let alone who won.
Yeah.
Let alone, I think the Eagles. That might have been my.
I felt really bad the other day. So there were. I saw two. So NFL do a couple of games over in the UK a few times a year, and they did a match in the Tottenham Hotspurs stadium last weekend. And I saw two guys, a couple, and they were both wearing NFL jerseys, and I knew the game was that day. And I just said to them, "It's like, oh, are you heading to the game later?" and they said, "Yeah." And they got I didn't think they got really excited because I think they thought, "Oh shit, there's someone else in the UK that watches the NFL."
Yeah.
And they got so excited very quickly and went, "Yeah, we are." And all I had to say was like, cool, have fun. And I just didn't know what else to say.
Well, yeah.
But
you really didn't want to get stuck in a conversation about stuff you don't actually care about.
Because then I maybe would have got stuck in they would have started talking at me and then asked me a question I would have not been able to answer and gone, I was just trying to be nice, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of merch that you own?
Oh, my favorite piece of merch that I own, once again, is the Roman Reigns Wreck Everyone and Leave sleeveless hooded T-shirt, available at WWEshop.com. I don't know why they don't put I feel like I'm stuck in a deja vu. Like I feel like I just said that.
I don't know why I asked it.
Oh man, what is your favorite piece of merch?
You know what? Actually, my favorite piece of merch is a piece of merch that I can't really wear outside because I feel like an arsehole. Yeah, it's the DX football. Speaking about football, the DX football jersey that says 69 on the front and suck it on the back. Don't feel comfortable wearing it.
You know, it's funny. Like that, there does come a time where I have T-shirts that are just like that I used to wear all the time that just say, fuck it, whatever, or like, shit that's vulgar.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get don't really need to wear that anymore.
Yeah, that's where
but
I'm
I
at.
still love that. But I still love them.
Yeah. So I had tickets to the AEW show, whenever that was, a few months ago, and I went, and
I got to wear it then.
I put it on, and then I took it off before I left.
Oh, well, see, but that would have been a perfect environment.
Yeah, but no, it's not just that. It's getting to the stadium. I had to travel across London with the 69 Suck It written on me. And to any other wrestling fan, great. To know someone that isn't, I just look like a dickhead, man. I'm in my mid-30s. I can't do that. Just can't do it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm totally
Oh,
with
fuck
you.
it. No, my favorite piece of merch, two favorite pieces of merch. One,
good, because I have a second one that I want to tell you about
is
too.
the Sami Zayn in character, the one that Big E designed for him, where it's just a drawing, a stick man that says "I am Sami Zayn." I have that.
Oh God, I know, right? How good is that?
That's a good bit of merch. My other piece of merch is one that you got me because I, for some reason, couldn't get it in the UK. Never understood why. I guess because it's something to do with Jackass. But the Jackass, the Sami Zayn Jackass T-shirt.
Oh yeah, Sami Forever. Yeah,
Sami Zayn Forever. Yeah,
Sami Zayn Forever.
Fucking great. I love that shit.
Yeah,
it's great.
My second favorite piece of merch, T-shirt, is the Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio Eye for an Eye match. Oh shit,
that's a really cool T-shirt. Actually, the graphic is
such
really cool.
a badass design.
Yeah,
As a former tattoo artist too, like the design is a killer tattoo oriented design.
Yeah,
like I would get that tattooed on me.
Yeah,
that's how cool that design. I think that design is, and also that match was a great match during the pandemic time when they were starting to like wet their feet with what they could do.
Yeah.
You know,
let's gouge a guy's eye out with the fucking steel stabs.
Let's gouge a guy's eye out with the corner of a steel stab. Fucking brilliant. And then,
I missed that timeline, man. I want to get back in that shit without the pandemic. Just I don't want that.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
We could do a full retrospective of like the pandemic year of probably like when this podcast gets to like 100, episode 100 or something.
Yeah.
We should do like some big retrospect because that'll be like 2 years.
Yeah.
If we stick to a release schedule of every week.
Yeah. Oh, let's not forget to mention that we are in double digits now.
Oh, this is
episode 10. Yeah.
Episode 10. We've surpassed.
We double surpassed
another milestone.
The threshold.
Second milestone. Double digits.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty consistently too. Other than, I mean, we took a week off, but we did release 2 episodes in 1 week.
In 1 week. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Well, not only was the last episode a double episode of Fastlane and No Mercy, but wasn't there a week where we released a secondary episode?
You know what? Yeah, during the very start. So I think. We've done more than our fair share of something.
I'm looking at our timeline. Payback. Oh, when do we go here? RW Ruber Club walkthrough. Nope. I'm going back too far. Went back too far into my search. Anyway, congratulations,
either way,
buddy.
Congratulations,
brother. We made it to 10.
Let's pat ourselves on the back here.
Yeah, and with I would say like we've been getting some pretty good feedbacks from people. I know you've had a few people message you directly. I've had a few people hit me up and just say how they were digging the pod.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice little slow start. We're definitely pacing ourselves. We're getting our feel for how this goes.
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, look, 10 episodes in, been going for a couple of months now. We got like over 50 followers or so on Facebook, on Instagram.
That's pretty nice so far.
We're good. I know, I my phone's got 1% battery. I can't check right now, but I know that we've had people listening all over the place, especially in America and the UK, because that makes sense. But yeah, it's going. Fuck it.
So shout out to all 50 plus of you guys so far that are following.
I'm happy, and it's good fun. But who's got the best mic skills of all time?
Ooh, of all time?
Of all fucking time.
I mean, if it's not The Rock, I don't know. I'm not necessarily. I'm not sure who it could be. That's tough. That's well.
Wouldn't you say it's Paul Heyman?
Paul Heyman. That's a great. You know what? That's a great point. Paul Heyman has been on the microphone for decades.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
from a standpoint of not an actual wrestler.
I'll fit. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I think one of the best people on the mic of all time is Bray Wyatt.
He was incredible. Yeah, he was definitely incredible.
I'm not.
He was captivating.
He could because he could do anything. He was funny when he was in the Firefly Funhouse. When he was speaking and seriously, you would shut the fuck up and listen. The Rock's great. Do not get me wrong, but he's if you think about it, kind of one-dimensional in the fact he's just comedy.
Well, yes, he was.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying one-dimensional in a bad way. I'm just saying that it's just like he was good at one thing and he stuck to it, and that's great.
He was talking trash.
Talking trash. Yeah. So, but I think mic skills. I'm thinking more broadly here, and when I'm saying mic skills, I'm talking like people like Bray Wyatt, people like Paul Heyman can convey many different emotions.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt may be one of the greatest captivators on the microphone.
The Miz is up there for me too. If you look at he's got great serious promos. The Miz has done some great work.
The Miz is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because what makes them good is how much they make you believe.
Yeah.
So to your point with The Rock. The Rock's never had to make you believe in himself in that way. Like The Rock was more of like a mega. He was a voice of the people. He was the people's champ.
Yeah.
So his was almost like, I am the avatar of the fans. Where and he got to that point of he was doing something different with his mic skills.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't talk to. He talks at other people more than he talks to the fans a lot now, I guess. Well, I mean, he's done it. I mean, I can't say that he's never done that. That would be incorrect for sure. But no, but I think you're right to the point where Bray's character has made you feel many different emotions.
Exactly. Yeah.
A lot and very intensely.
He's made you cry. He's made you laugh. He's made you scared. He's made you listen.
But at every point, you've always believed him.
And you've always believed him. Yeah.
And even knowing that his character is like supernatural. Spooky,
exactly. He's got you in his hands, and he's not letting go.
Yeah. The Miz is another person. Yeah, that certainly.
The Miz is another guy who, if we're going back a little bit,
I believe everything.
I'd say as well that
he's
right. Another guy that's underrated for sure. No matter how much championship he wins, he's still to me an underrated wrestler. Well,
I think he's underrated in a lot of fans' eyes for sure.
Yeah. I think the WWE values him highly.
WWE itself, the company, he is certainly not undervalued to the company. Sure. I mean, you don't get your own reality TV show multiple seasons without being of value.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Favorite faction.
Moving on.
Of all time.
Favorite faction. This is another real difficult one.
I think I know. Look, I did. It's DX. For me, it's just DX. I know it's DX. I'm not going to try and think about it too hard. I loved DX as a kid. I loved DX as I was growing up. I even liked DX when Triple H and Shawn Michaels got back together when they were like dads. Yeah. I thought that was stupid because they're older, but yet they're still doing dick jokes.
It's still the buddies together doing
it felt good. It was just two friends who were just like, yeah, we may be married with kids now, but we can still make a good dick joke.
Yeah,
so
I think I think
that's good.
Degeneration X is definitely a contender for greatest faction of all time.
Yeah.
Certainly at the time they were my favorite. It would be a little hard. It's hard for me to say because even as much as I love Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, certainly my favorite faction right now is Judgment Day.
Right now, right now for sure, Judgment Day. But what about of all time? Of all time? I mean, Shield is up there as well. I'd say Shield are up there for sure.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't see. I wouldn't put the Shield above DX.
No, I wouldn't put them above. No,
I wouldn't put the Shield above DX. I wouldn't put anybody over. See, yeah, it's DX at the time. It definitely is the best. I think it's still the best.
Yeah, I would say so.
DX now, like you couldn't do that DX now.
No,
of course not.
No, you couldn't. No.
But because they did, but they did real faction stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Judgment Day and about the Bloodline. They were doing faction shit, you know.
Yeah.
They weren't just a group of guys that would come out as like they had their hands. Well, DX didn't. Yeah, DX kind of had their hands in everything too. Like
they did. Well, they had the tag team champion stuff that X-Pac was doing a lot.
They were
European
involved in
title.
fucking over the Rock to get. They were even in getting Mankind his title.
Yeah. So it's there was a lot of moving parts to the DX, and just like
DX,
and I think Triple H has done a good job of making that a thing, and he was part of that. He was part of DX when they had their fingers in loads of pies, and he's doing exactly the same thing with the Judgment Day right now,
and that's why I like it. That's probably why is because I see that writing, and you can see the parallels
for sure
of what it was that made them good.
Yeah,
it wasn't. And that's where you see the real difference between someone else that's copying, like, we're just going to copy what they did in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And you'll love it like you love the Attitude Era. No, it's what it was that...
You mean AEW.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean AEW.
Yeah.
For the most part. Again, I don't watch the programming, so I don't know how they've changed since then. But everything I've heard sounds like it's. Still
I'm just, I'm the prick, so I'm just calling a spade. A spade, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna, but I think that's hands down. I think you're right. DX.
Who has the best ring gear?
Ooh. As in-ring gear or entrance gear?
That's a tricky one.
Because I mean, Rollins is.
Let's say entrance gear, because in-ring gear is kind of basic, really. But I'd say it can be. But
I mean, Judgment Day again has the.
They definitely have great
Judgment
gear.
Day has got some hot ring gear.
I think entrance gear. Yeah, I mean, right now Seth Rollins, hands down, fucking
Big Show Seth.
Any like major show, Seth. I actually look forward to see what the fuck he's wearing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, him and Becky, and I think a couple others have been working with that guy King Troy.
Yeah, the fashion designer. Yeah. They know what they're doing there. Yeah, good shit. Obviously, of all time, we got to say like Rancho Man Randy Savage, probably.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, that's classic.
Actually, Undertaker was probably up there for me too. Actually, some of his entrance jackets are out as well.
Oh, he's had some pretty wild stuff. I mean, there's been some insane entrances overall, like Triple H's Terminator entrance at WrestleMania.
Oh, man.
That'd be a good show. That'll be a good episode.
Entrances.
Make our top 10.
I am so fucking up for that. I could sit
down. That's a
good
idea.
I will not shit to you. I will not shit to you. Don't know what the fuck. Yo. Oh
no. Well, just say we can make it. We were looking for things to do as a series of lead ups into WrestleMania. So maybe this is like top 10 WrestleMania matches, top 10 WrestleMania entrances.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Top 10 WrestleMania surprises.
I have literally spent afternoons when I've had nothing else to do, sitting on the network, going from WrestleMania to WrestleMania, just watching entrances.
Yeah.
I love entrances. WrestleMania entrances are the shit. They're so
I
good.
will say too, I'm very happy that since we've started this podcast, I have increased my actual my wrestling intake like 100%. Well, like I said, going back and rewatching old pay-per-views.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One thing we will do before the end of this podcast is roll for the Crown Jewel D4.
Oh yes, that's right, because Crown Jewel is the next pay-per-view. So next week's episode is going to be our Crown Jewel rewatch, a previous Crown Jewel rewatch.
Yeah, a rewatch review, as we're calling them.
Yeah.
No, we're not. I said this wrong last time, but they're called reviews. Get it? Because we're reviewing them and we're reviewing them.
The review.
Yeah.
Something
like that.
Review.
Yeah, like say it however you want, but we're repeating.
If you guys want to say it completely differently, you can say it however you want.
You do what you want.
Who's
your favorite heel?
Something that we didn't. Hold on, though. Something we didn't mention. Something I wanted to bring up that we hadn't mentioned, but just made me think of it when we were talking about R-Truth and being NWA champion.
Okay.
So that happened this week or this past week on SmackDown. Former NWA champion Nick Aldis is new general manager of SmackDown.
Yeah, and
that came out of left field, right?
That totally came. Well, I did hear a few weeks ago that he had been signed, but all I knew is that he had signed as an agent, like a road agent, like.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
The thing is, he still is, because Adam Pearce is also a road agent, but he just plays a character on TV.
Yeah.
So I'm into it. I'm into it as long as he continues to play a role just like Adam Pearce has. I'm not up for. I'm not really. I'm well past the point of GMs being too involved in storylines. I like the way Adam Pearce has approached this role on TV, or has been positioned in his role on TV.
Yeah,
has been great, because he's just like this guy who doesn't really. He is not a heel nor a face. He just does what he thinks is right, and sometimes that favors a heel, and sometimes it favors the face.
Right.
As long as Nick Aldis does the same thing, I'm happy.
Now, I was kind of surprised. I don't know how many people knew who he was. He didn't get a big fan reaction.
He didn't.
Crowd reaction. But
I think that's because you will know him if you know him, and I don't think a lot. I honestly don't think he's as popular as a lot of smart marks might think he is. Well, if that makes sense.
Right? The casual
fans
WWE
don't know,
fan,
which makes up a lot of WWE fans.
Yeah. But I don't think they knew who Adam Pearce was either.
No, but he's become to be
the same regards
quite liked by everyone as well. So
yeah, I'm just curious to see what they're going to do with him. If it is indeed we're just going to have you be the guy, you're the Adam Pearce of SmackDown, for lack of better terms. Or if there's something else going on, I'm pretty sure Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have wrestled each other before.
They are. I'm pretty confident that they have. Yeah. And the thing is, I think, you know what's crazy? Well, my voice went crazy then. You know what's crazy? Is that Nick Aldis is only 36 years old.
Really? Holy shit.
Wait, let me just check that. Let me just check that shit.
One thing, while you're checking that, one thing I'll just say about Nick Aldis, that was when I first tuned into NWA Power.
Oh yeah.
They started putting that on YouTube, and I think that was during the pandemic.
Yeah, he's 36.
Damn. He made one of the best promos I had ever seen.
Yeah.
For someone who hadn't watched NWA wrestling in decades probably, and didn't really know much about anything. It was his ability to just look at the camera and tell me who he was and why I should care.
He's great.
Is
He's very good on the mic. He's very good on the mic. He's married to Mickey James also, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, seeing where that goes. Again, as long as he's not, I don't want him getting to, Adam Pearce has had his moments on the mic and had his moments of like freaking out or being a bit more of an involved character, but it's done in a good way. And as long as that continues, I'm happy. So that's where I sit with him. But definitely a good signing. Definitely someone good to have backstage, if anything. But he's only 36, so I don't know what the deal is there. I mean, maybe he will get more involved because he could definitely still go. As far as I know, he's not injured of any way. So the thing is, neither is Adam Pearce. So you could at some point get GM versus GM in a match that could actually be really good because they're both wrestlers from NWA. So
that would be kind of interesting to see. Like if some sort of a story progresses that way.
Yeah, because they could be like, okay, well, it's like almost like brand supremacy, but we're not going to get the wrestlers to fight. We're going to get the GMs to fight each other.
Yeah. Well, they could get. I mean, there easily could be some way that they get them involved somehow. Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah. So, which wrestler do you think currently should turn heel?
Ooh, a current face that needs a heel turn.
Yeah.
Oh, let's scroll through the list there a little bit. Well, let me pull. You know what? I got to pull up the roster just so that I can see them. Like, all right, official WWE roster. Who do we got? Who do we got here? That's a good face. No, not.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we've had the Street Profits kind of turn heel.
Oh, they're definitely heel.
I'd say they're heel, but like, yeah, they're heel, but they're heelish, but everybody still likes them. I wouldn't be surprised if Bianca Belair goes and gets a heel turn.
That'd be good, actually. I think that it's kind of time for that to happen almost for her.
Yeah. A good turn for her could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when we were talking about Drew McIntyre before, I think Drew McIntyre would. I mean, I don't know where he sits right now. He is kind of very much in the middle, but
he's certainly floating a neutral area right now. But he's dipping his toe. He's dipping his toe in the heels.
Yeah,
for sure. Let's looking at who they've got right now. Who else would even be?
Oh, I got a guy that would work. I mean, I wouldn't do it just yet because it's too early. But something that would definitely come along down the line is Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a prick when he's a heel. So
well, sure. And I mean that's definitely going to come as soon as they get him and Johnny together.
Oh yeah, we know that's coming. It's going to be great.
Right. Yeah, we've got that. It's really hard to put a pin on anybody else. I mean, I'm looking through the entire roster here, and Who else is a real face that could use it? That it would make sense for. I mean, I don't know if Randy Orton's coming back. Randy Orton flips a lot.
Yeah.
So he could easily. I don't know if the only other person that hasn't had a real heel run that I could see something could turn him heel would be either Santos Escobar could turn on Mysterio and kind of take the LWO over. Who else was I was just thinking of them, and then they just escaped me.
You know what's fucking incredible?
Ricochet hasn't been a heel.
Ricochet is a heel, yeah.
Ricochet is a heel, yeah. You kind of
I'll
feeling
be so
that
up, but
idea.
yeah, totally feeling that. You know what that reminds me of is a few years ago when Gregory Helms or the Hurricane turned heel and he stopped doing all like the high flying stuff and did all like the rest holds and stuff because he was like he's not going to pander to the crowd anymore. You could totally give him a gimmick like that in a way that made him basically what a heel should do, take away what the fans want basically. And
here's something
that'd
interesting.
Be yeah.
On the on the official WWE.com Superstars page, there is a spot
for vacant
just called vacant.
Yeah, I just saw it too. I was about to tell you that. Yeah.
And it's like, and it's not just, it's got the graphic, like you roll over and their graphic like zooms in a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
they've literally made a vacant.
They have a vacant spot.
Yeah.
That's really bizarre. Who is that supposed to be
for?
No,
exactly that, vacant, because it's a meme. If you don't know the meme, basically they say that obviously Ric Flair's a 16-time world champion, but technically the person who's been more champion more times than him is vacant. And they always use that graphic as the thing on like a graphic when they say that it's vacant.
When they have the vacant title.
So
are
vacant,
you serious?
Yeah.
So they've been running that they've had that on their list of superstars as a running gag.
Yeah, well, it only just recently, I guess, because it's been a meme for years online that vacant is like vacant's held every championship in the world.
That's true. Vacant has held every champion there has ever been.
Yeah, as long as it's been vacated.
As long as the title has been vacated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now here's a good question: is the title when they hold a tournament to crown the first ever of a title? Is the title vacant at the start?
I guess so. He's been the first champion ever of every title ever.
Or that's a good that will probably come up. We'll have to put that in a pin for our WWE rules of the WWE.
Yeah, we definitely need to get to that one. I'm looking forward to that episode.
That's funny. I just as scrolling through, you would never think about that until you just see it there. We'll put a screenshot up of vacant in our
well, fuck it, we just did heel turn, let's do it. Who would you give a face turn to?
Okay, face turns, that's a little easier because face turns always have a redemption arc to them.
Yeah.
And that always makes you feel good when you pull somebody out pull somebody away from being bad. But it also usually it's better when it's someone who was a face that turned heel and now they're face again. Or
so maybe like
what do you think?
Finn Balor maybe?
Finn Balor, yeah, Finn Balor. Oh, excuse me. Finn Balor could. I don't know that we're. And now I'm just scrolling back up the other way to see.
I'm doing exactly what
you might work. Who might work? Yeah, fascinated on this fascinating episode of Punk's Talk Wrestling. We scroll through the WWE Superstars list.
I'd love to see. Well, my fucking audio popped there.
Well,
I'd love to see.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, good. I could see Gunther. I could see Gunther having a face turn because more out of a morality.
More of a more. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
If there comes an instance where let's say Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser start disrespecting the mat, if something happens and they start aligning them, they start acting in a way that no longer aligns with Gunther's vision of what professional wrestling should be.
Yeah.
And they do so in a way that compromises his morals, but requires him to like save a face.
Yeah.
In order, like I could totally see that because that's an easy. when you have a trio, it's always easy for the tag team to also turn on the individual.
Yeah.
Especially when Imperium wins the tag team championship and Gunther loses the Intercontinental title.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's when we'll see a shift. We'll see a shift in Imperium, where Imperium becomes Kaiser. Kaiser and Vinci.
Vinci. Yeah. Yeah.
And Gunther. That'll be Gunther. That'll be the way it works. Is when Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. I can't help but say it the way
she does it. She does it well.
Yeah.
Here's
when they turn on Gunther.
Yeah.
For reasons.
That's
when we'll get a Gunther face turn.
Here's a good question for you. I quite like this question.
All right.
What would your job be in a wrestling promotion? Promotion.
What would my job be in a wrestling promotion?
Yeah. If besides professional wrestler.
When Punks Talk Wrestling, in a promotion, yeah. If I were to work within a promotion, I would probably want to work on character creation. Like I would be in the writing room, writing out storylines and angles.
Yeah.
And how do we get connecting the dots?
Right.
Like a dungeon master. I'd be the DM.
So you're a writer, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think I would thrive as a writer.
Yeah.
I would probably also be pretty good as one of those guys that just works with the talent to I don't know. I think writing would probably be in the creative department.
Yeah, it'd be a good writer. I think you'd be if it was on screen. I think you'd be a really good manager.
Yeah.
As well, like a mouthpiece for someone.
Yeah, because I could talk about other people. I'm really good. I'm more comfortable talking about other people than I am talking about myself. As ridiculous as that is for someone who is a front man of a band and is a co-host of a podcast. It's why I do the things that I do, is because I feel that I'm bad at being a front man, so I put myself in positions to do front man related things to get better.
I think I would probably my dream job of all time ever, period, is I see these videos on YouTube all the time of the WWE warehouse.
Yeah.
And they have a guy there who is an archivist, and he archives everything that they've got. Every casket awesome. Used by the Undertaker. They've got every.
You would be.
All the entrance pieces. Basically, I saw this video recently where they were trying to. They had a bunch of stuff that their jobs are like. Sometimes they find boxes full of stuff and they have to identify what it was from, what that prop was used for. Yeah. Or they're finding things all the time. And I remember watching one of these videos once, because there was an hour-long tour of the warehouse, and I was just constantly pointing at things in the background. Go, that's from that pay-per-view. That's from that pay-per-view. That's from that episode of Raw when Triple H did this thing. I'm pretty good at it. I know my shit, I think, enough to be. That's my dream job, though. If you get me a house in Greenwich, Connecticut, then I'll move out there.
We probably could get you set up with an interview while you're out here.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll start looking at the WWE job boards.
Corporate page, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
dream job. I know a guy who used to work there.
You do know a guy? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. What's your favorite wrestling podcast? Huh?
Well, I mean, it's Punks Talk Wrestling.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously,
good shit.
No, as far as podcasts that I listen to. The now defunct Comedians of Wrestling.
That's
podcast
right.
With Dan Black was my all-time favorite for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the entirety from the moment that I found out about it until it no longer existed.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Comedians of Wrestling podcast. But the Bruce Pritchard's something to wrestle with.
It's good. It's good.
I love that because I love hearing stories about what really happened from the people that were really there.
Yeah, that's always good, isn't it? Not.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
And I love a guy that hates that hates what's his name as much as what's his name, the guy, the dirt sheet guy that
Dave Meltzer.
No, Dave Meltzer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've never met Dave Meltzer. I don't know if he's a nice guy in person or for real. All I know about him is the takes I hear about the things that he writes about and how everybody seems to hate his takes and whatever. But I find it funny. But I find it funny how vehemently Bruce Pritchard hates Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
I find it entertaining how much he vehemently hates him, and a lot of times it's because of things he says that are like that Bruce Pritchard just says are completely incorrect. So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely heard Eric Bischoff's podcast is pretty good, and
I really should. Yeah, I heard it was pretty good.
He does exactly the same thing.
Yeah, he just tells you what it is, and he says, well, the Dave Meltzer is fuck Meltzer is like my fuck Peacock in a way.
yeah. I'm definitely much more of a fuck Meltzer. I can't fuck Peacock because I don't have it, but I could definitely fuck I don't want to fuck Meltzer.
Well, yeah, wait.
Jeez, what happened there? Huh? Fuck that guy. I just nothing he says. Here's the thing, and this kind of blew up.
We should say fuck the character that he portrays through his writing.
Yeah. Well, here's a crazy thing.
Because I don't know if it's him or not. I don't know if he's got his
own
gimmick.
It's him. No, he's just a bit of a jackass.
I don't know enough about. I've literally never once read his website or his.
It's very evident that he has his favorites, and let's put it this way: he's. Like, there was a big thing recently that someone noticed, and they were like, how is it possible that Kurt Angle, of all people, he's never rated a single Kurt Angle match at 5 stars?
Really?
How?
That's impossible.
Exactly. Yet he's never rated a Kurt Angle match with 5 stars.
Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero for the...
Yeah, Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker at Survivor Series, like 2003 or whatever the fuck it was, 6.
Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon, where he almost killed Shane McMahon multiple times.
Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Come on.
Yeah, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Come on.
Even though Brock Lesnar almost broke his own neck in a
oh my god, the Kurt Angle versus fucking Stone Cold, the match we watched recently for the rewatch.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, he's got so many good matches. You didn't rate single one of them 5 stars. Yeah,
that's just but then again, see there that goes to what we've always said is the metric by which some of these people rank their things.
Yeah,
is a metric that isn't necessarily a metric that matters.
Yeah.
And so when you just see that as a rating and you just think, well, that's the rating. It's like, no, that's one person's rating.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Our ratings don't matter to anybody but us.
Yeah, and that's why we never rate anything.
Yeah, we don't really rate things. We rate them to us. We're not telling any,
So, I think to us things were either good or bad, really, and like, But I try. Even when I'm critical, even when I am very critical of certain things with other promotions, I'm also very apparent that I'm not watching them, so I don't know for certain. It's just what I'm getting, and I've tried. I have tried, and every time I try, I realize why I stop. Yeah.
But that's fine. It's not for me. It's for somebody else. We say this every time because I hate being negative about it.
Yeah.
It's
against
against my nature to be that, but sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you just gotta.
What's your
favorite finisher?
My favorite finisher. Oh shit. Oh no. Not again. Hold on. Talk about annoying and not want to be annoying and negative. We got you can't hear it. You can't hear it because your phone died, right?
Yeah, my phone did die.
We got another. Once again, here's another message from we just got a message from the anonymous podcast critic.
I love that guy.
Hold on.
Well, guy, girl. I think it's a guy.
I don't know. You can't say it's got a generic outline, just like it. The anonymous podcast critic could be vacant.
It could be vacant. It
actually could be vacant. The nondescript entity that has won every championship there's ever been, who may also be the anonymous podcast critic. Which
I doubt it. I feel like this guy.
I don't know. I feel like vacant probably has a better attitude.
Yeah, I think vacant does. Yeah.
With all, you would think someone with the success of Vacant, having held every title there is, wouldn't take to Instagram to like criticize some small podcast. But as we've seen from other large CEOs and corporate entities, sometimes you just
maybe it's Tony Khan.
Anyway, anyway, anonymous podcast critic says, and I quote, WrestleMania 8 was in Indianapolis, not WrestleMania 7 like you said in the last episode, you idiots. That was in Los Angeles. And if you remember, which you obviously don't, it was moved indoors due to security concerns over Hulk Hogan facing Sergeant Slaughter for the then WWF Championship. Okay, thanks for that extra bit of information that doesn't have anything to do with it. WrestleMania 8, but I kind of hate to say it, but I think Anonymous Podcast Critic was right about this one, right?
He was right about this one, but that's okay.
Hey, we can give when we are actually wrong.
You know what, Mr. Podcast.
Well, actually, I wasn't wrong. That was you that was wrong.
No, that was you that was wrong. That was you.
It was me that was wrong.
It was you. You did the WrestleMania 7 fact. I'm sorry.
I did?
I thought that was you. That wasn't
You're
me.
the one that does the fact.
Hey, let's not fight between us because of this guy, okay?
Jesus Christ! Look at what this guy has done. See, just like every troll, he instantly has like you drive a wedge between best friends.
But it was you.
Fuck! It was me.
It was you. But there was something I did get wrong, which he didn't notice.
Wait. It was not. What was the fact? What was the? See, I don't even remember the fact. He didn't target me specifically, so I just.
So here's the deal. You can go back and review the tape later yourself.
All right, I'll go back and review that. I obviously didn't review it the last time I edited.
It was you, but
okay, very
close to that fact. I said a fact that was also wrong.
Oh, so you said something that he didn't catch.
He didn't even catch. So. Fuck you, I'm going to catch it before you do.
So we still gotcha.
Yeah. So I said that Baron Corbin, so technically I was kind of right, but I said that Baron Corbin had not won on a PLE in 4 years or something like that, which was correct, right? He hadn't won on a PLE in 4 years. Last person he beat was Roman Reigns, right?
Okay.
But I did also say is that he hadn't appeared at all on a PLE in 4 years. That was not correct. And
so...
I don't know the last one he had appeared on before then, but he had definitely appeared on a PLE in 4 years. Of course he fucking has. He was at Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, for God's sakes, and that was only 2 years ago.
That's
right. He has, but that's where I had a little snafu. But the WrestleMania 7 thing was you. That was you.
So... All right, so but that's all right. That's all right. That proves that this anonymous podcast critic still hasn't caught all of our mistakes.
He thinks he's on the pulse, but
he's on the pulse, but he's kind of you gotta still, whomever you may be, anonymous podcast critic, you are only partially correct.
That's right.
I'll give it to you there. When did I? Oh, when we were talking about Fastlane.
Yeah.
Because Fastlane was in
Indianapolis, and you said that WrestleMania 7 was Indianapolis. That's what you said.
Yeah, but I would say that it's still incorrect. I don't know what I'd say to that.
I was like, how are you going to spin this one?
How am I going to spin this? But how I would spin it would be to just distract you with another question.
You're not the one with the list.
I know. That was my cue.
How about your favorite finisher? That's why I asked you.
Oh shit, that's right. The question, the answer to the question that was rudely interrupted by the anonymous podcast critic during our recording.
By the way, he could easily just message us and be nice about it.
He could.
Why say things like, oh, "Obviously you didn't notice"? Well, yeah, obviously we fucking didn't. You dick face. Of course we didn't. Yeah. But you could be nice about it. You could just be like, "Hey guys, you've
got to go through the fact. Maybe you know what? Maybe this is a problem. Maybe we've incited this critic with for some reason, and they're lashing out at us because of something that they're missing in their own lives.
Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't be so hard on this podcast critic. Maybe we should try to extend an olive branch and
a little
get
handshake,
some more interaction. Maybe they're just looking for interaction, and
that's okay. I'm here
Vacant.
for that.
Vacant hasn't really had a championship in a while, so maybe that is maybe this is part of it. Maybe
Vacant might need a tag team partner. Maybe
When is the last time Vacant has held a championship in WWE? We'll have to look up that.
Yeah, I don't know.
The history, Vacant's title history.
Yeah, I bet you any money that's a thing.
Anyway, what was the question? My favorite finisher.
Yeah, that's right.
Favorite finisher. Oh, this one's gonna be hard. No, I don't think it's gonna be hard. It's RKO. I think it's the RKO because of how many amazing ways Randy Orton has turned his finisher into like this. Big shows get bigger finishers. I mean, the greatest. There are two of the greatest of all time. The reversal stomp, Seth Rollins stomp reversal into that, launching him into that RKO at WrestleMania.
Oh, incredible!
And then the shooting star press into the RKO on Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
That was like a random Monday Night Raw. That wasn't even a big
It has
event.
to be up there. I mean, as you know what, another finisher, which was going to be my one actually, which sucks because it's now. Actually, I saw Shawn Michaels say this recently, that it's become the modern day version of the DDT, but it's a super kick. Everyone's using the DDT. Like, it used to be a finisher, and now everyone uses it. Like, the Sweet Chin Music is now a fucking transitional move. But that's a move that I think was kind of like the RKO. You remember Shelton Benjamin did the springboard straight into a Sweet Chin Music? Like, man, that stuff's great.
I loved at the height of Sweet Chin Music, the super kicks that are used by other superstars who are not Shawn Michaels, none of them compare.
Yeah.
None of them really compare. There's something about it. It's the same way that I feel about the Bailey to Belly. That's someone actually going back to a face turn. I think I'm really gonna enjoy a Bailey. I would enjoy Bailey as going back to a face turn at some point.
Yeah.
If it works. But I love but talking about finishing moves, I love the Bailey to Belly suplex because of how. And I used to sell that again. You can check the transcripts. From the old group, I loved the Bailey to Belly suplex because it was one of those moves where you had to suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
A belly to belly suplex. But the reason why the Bailey to belly suplex was so effective was because at how perfect Bailey was at getting the exact amount of leverage and pivot so that the impact was as like drove all of your air out of you and like literally knocked you like unconscious. This is how like you sell it in your mind is like she's just unlocked she's the only one that can make a belly to belly suplex a finishing move. Because it's the Bailey to belly suplex. It's because Bailey can, and she does, and because other people believe it and sell it. It's why.
Yeah.
But everybody else getting super kicked 1,000 times. doesn't matter. When Shawn Michaels super kicks you, it's final.
Exactly.
Because Shawn Michaels sweet chin. Nobody else has sweet chin music. They have super kicks.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just have
It's a
super
different.
kicks.
I know it's the same but different. Exactly.
It is the same as different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like the Stone Cold, like Kevin Owens does a stunner.
Yeah.
But it's not the Stone Cold stunner.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though he uses it as a finisher.
It is a different thing.
It's not a Stone Cold stunner because it's not Stone Cold.
It's not Stone Cold here.
It's just a stunner, and that's sort of how I've accepted the progression of those moves, because it also kind of does, like, in a way, it hurts in a way when it gets overused, like the super kick.
Yeah.
I don't mind when I see a person who it's not their finishing move, use it as a move. I can feel okay about it as long as they don't overuse it.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens doing a stunner and then them kicking out of a stunner from Kevin Owens is not as bad as if you kicked out of a stunner from Stone Cold.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kicking out of it's just one of those things that I'm learning to accept that other people do.
Yeah.
But most people it also leaves the room. If you're gonna use someone else's finisher as a mid-level move, then you better have a better finisher.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then get one. Then find one. Then stop using other people's finishers as a move that's not a finisher.
Right.
If your finisher isn't even as good.
Yeah. Who is your? You done?
Just one note. No,
just
a
one
note
note
on finishers. One of my other favorite finishers. One of the ones I liked very that I thought was devastating at the time was Lex Luger's torture rack when he was doing the Narcissist era.
Yeah. It's an underrated finisher for sure.
I love the idea of the submission moves that weren't just choke you out, you pass out, okay, you're passed out. But the moves that, like, you are completely incapacitated. I'm literally holding you. Like, the torture rack was just like, it was just completely dominating.
Yeah.
I'm breaking your body in
half.
A
submission I really liked, actually, was Undertaker. When the Undertaker used to use Hell's Gate for a bit.
Yeah.
That was, like, I don't know, something about that was, he just clutched you and did not let the fuck go.
Yeah.
Like, and it looked brutal. Like, his shin was, like, pressed against your throat. Like,
it gave a good feel of, from the opposite way that the choke slam and the last ride were him, like, slamming you into the ground, whereas Hell's Gate was sort of pulling you under.
Yeah.
And so it worked. He made it work within. He made that move work within his character.
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
Actually,
when the Undertaker first started to use the last ride, that move was great. Like,
because it was so definitive.
He used to lift you so fucking high, especially if you're a smaller person. He would lift you so high.
The last ride, when he did the last ride to Rey Mysterio, I don't remember when, but they used it. They've used it in packages before. I remember, and it's all like, Rey Mysterio's feet are on Undertaker's shoulders, basically.
Yeah,
and
it's
he, like,
mad. It's mad.
Yeah, I mean, it may have even been fun. Like, he like propelled him into the air. There's been times where, like, I want to see. It's one of those It was one of those moves where in the video game, what was the video game where they were, like, kind of cartoony that just came out?
Battleground, I think.
Yeah, like, doesn't he, like, lift him up off of the ground and, like,
jump
it's
just
slam,
so
like,
over exaggerated. Yeah.
Undertaker's moves. That's another good point. Is, like, Undertaker's moves have always been consistent with his character too.
Oh yeah, I mean, the dude knows what he's doing. Which current wrestler is your favorite? Right now, modern day.
In the same way that Dominic Mysterio as a heel is is definitely my favorite heel.
Yeah.
Overall heel. I'm so happy with how much everyone hates him. Like,
it's amazing.
Those boos. The best part about the boos too is the people that, like, when they're on air and he's like, man, I really wasn't sure if they were piping.
Oh, Triple H said that, yeah.
Yeah, Triple H was like, man, I
really thought they were piping these in,
yeah. But that's real.
Yeah.
That's like, it is the loudest boos ever.
It's brutal, man.
Ever that anyone's ever had, and it is fantastic.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good.
It is, yeah. It is so difficult though to have a favorite right now. If I had to pick someone, basically, if I was like, they stuck on a desert island and this one person was going to teach me everything they knew about wrestling, or so, I don't know.
I think mine right now for me has to be Seth.
It's hard for it not to be. I still think Roman is. It's going
to be Seth or Roman. The only reason I'm picking Seth is because he's been
Rhea
more
Ripley
consistent.
Might be
Rhea Ripley's up there, yeah.
Rhea Ripley may be my favorite. It's so hard to pick.
It is hard to pick, but I think Seth. I'm going to stick with Seth right now. I think Seth for sure is the best thing going right now. He's consistent. He's consistent with his attires. He's consistent with his entrance. He's consistent with his match quality.
Yeah. He's
consistent on the microphone. He's just all around consistent. All around.
Yeah. It's so hard. Yeah. It's my favorite because I'm looking at my top four it's Roman, Seth, Rhea, and Becky.
Yeah,
out of everything, they've got everything going. I'm going with I think I've. Man, it's so tough to pick. if I'm picking between Seth and Roman, man, I don't know. Maybe I might go Seth. This is tough. This one's hard. Seth has had so many moments, and Roman has done so good at being so bad.
Right now, the best thing going in wrestling, it's Roman Reigns for sure. But as my favorite is Seth. For me, like, I enjoy watching him on a weekly basis. I enjoy watching Roman, of course, but Roman's the best thing going right now. But I am personally enjoying Seth as a whole. I think is the best thing to say.
I can't really. It's really, really hard to disagree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that he's doing is tops.
Here is, well, is that what you're going for?
I don't know. But man, we'll have to come back to that next week. I need time.
All right, you need some time. All right, here you go. Here's the
really
final question. The question that always gets made last in every fucking wrestling interview. What is your wrestling Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
My Mount Rushmore.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Now you could either, it depends how you look at this, because you're going to think like, who is most important to the wrestling business, or you could take it as a point of view of like, who is your favorite?
It's going to be from the perspective of my
of you
Mount Rushmore of fandom.
Right. Yeah. Your fandom.
My fandom. My personal the ones that I liked the most.
Yeah.
So they're the best to me. Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Savage, Rey Mysterio. Randy Savage, Rey Mysterio, Roman Reigns, and John Cena.
Cool.
Over time, the consistency no one else has no one else has beaten that yet, because Rey Mysterio was one of the few guys that I watched in WCW as well.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason why that's the only reason why Rey Mysterio is there, is because he's one of the few wrestlers that I I would watch his matches in WCW over anything else. He actually compelled me to watch.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
He compelled me to watch a program that Jericho's up there too, though, because Jericho might be in front of Randy Savage, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Roman Reigns.
Cool. Who did you just remove then?
Yeah. What's that? I bumped John Cena. I bumped John Cena, but yeah, because John Cena didn't make me watch wrestling.
Yeah.
That's
See,
what it was.
I'm trying to come from the perspective of like who made me feel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Eddie Guerrero. And my fourth spot's difficult. I'm really struggling with my fourth spot here. It's going to be Undertaker. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's my four. I think that's my four. Not to say that I was nearly going to put Seth in. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a really big soft spot for Seth.
Yeah, honestly, Becky Lynch is up in the talks too, because based on who makes me watch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's my top 5.
Cool. There's
4.
Cool.
6 with John Cena.
And that's it. I'm out of questions.
There we go. Well, and I had no questions.
That's right.
I didn't even think about any questions while you were asking me questions. I was just.
Let me go over here and grab a D4 if you want to entertain everyone.
Oh
for a
yeah.
second.
Oh right. So let me pull up. Let's pull up WWE Crown Jewel. It's good. It's the next PLE. So let's get our information on Crown Jewel. Lots of people have lots of thoughts about the shows in Saudi Arabia. Oh, excuse me.
Well, I don't know. I feel like people are kind of just shut the fuck up about that over the years now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand why people would have. I understand why. Man, yeah. But yes, I also agree that I agree with people's reasons.
Yeah.
I agree that people have reasons why they either really dislike the fact that I understand why people were very critical of their decision to do that. However, even during the beginning of that, I was a large proponent of the cultural positive, the positive cultural ramifications of it.
Yeah.
And we've already seen them, and anybody and the fact is, people wanted to complain about the fact that they wanted people to not do it because of political pressures and things, and the way Saudi Arabia is with the things that they are. I'm not going into I'm not even talking about those things because I don't want the discussion to be about that.
Exactly, yeah. But as we said
it's
before,
only about the positive. It's only about the positive parts.
Look, but regardless of politics and fuck, man, Britain has terrible politics. America has terrible politics. Everywhere in the world has terrible politics. End of the day, no reason why a certain group of people should be deprived of professional wrestling.
Yeah, there is we've seen it already. The fact that they have they have pushed to get women performers on the shows and got that to be accepted.
Yeah.
And now that is a thing. The WWE made a historic change in the way Saudi Arabia opened up. Like, it's really important what they've done, and it gets swept under the rug a lot because everybody just wants to talk about the negative things.
Yeah.
But you can't just stop that. You can't just say we're going to further put a wedge and not allow this company to. This is how you affect change. You affect change through the people and through the entertainment that they are watching. And there are women in Saudi Arabia, girls in Saudi Arabia, who now have seen that women can wrestle.
Yeah.
That is a thing that they now can aspire to. And these younger generations of people in a country that might not have known this even existed until recently, now knows that women can do things in other places, and I want to do those things too. And I think that's fucking huge. And they should be celebrated for it. And they should be given way more credit than they are for what they've done.
That's true.
And I'll stand by that. I will stand by that against anything that anybody wants to say about it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Completely agree
so that's my unpopular. That's another hot take.
That's a hot take for sure. Yeah, I totally agree.
I have been, but you know this. I mean, we've talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about it, but way before we did the pod, way back when these events first started, and we both said the same thing. And you can definitely see it with the. I mean, let's look at this. The first ever Saudi show they ever did. There weren't even women allowed. Period.
Yeah, they weren't even
ring
allowed
announcers. Like nothing. Yeah. Not even crew members were allowed. And I don't even think they were allowed in attendance. They weren't even allowed now.
Maybe I don't go that far, but I don't know.
You're now, we had the first women's match where they had to wear like big baggy t-shirts, and now we're at a stage where they did a crown jewel or whatever elimination chamber maybe last year they did in Saudi. We had 3 women's matches on the card, one of them being a 6 women's match, which is the elimination chamber match. And besides the fact that they have to wear things that are down to the wrist and down to the ankles, fully covered, that they can show their figure now, which is it's huge. Right. It's just such a massive difference since 2018.
Yeah, and so many people take that for granted, and they're just looking at the negative of it because they have no concept. They really don't understand how much this has affected, how much change that actually has brought. Yeah. Just in that. It's a small thing that's huge. Yeah. Just because they're not able to wear the revealing gear that they can wear, here. And let's also make the discussion, why does that even matter?
It doesn't. If they're just professional wrestlers, it doesn't matter at all, does it?
If you want to have a conversation about the rights of people, that's one thing. But if you want to talk about how does that matter as opposed to the wrestling, well, what they're wearing doesn't matter when as much as the fact that they are wrestling.
Exactly.
So, so there is that little bit of spice there, a little bit of coriander on it.
Little bit oregano.
Little bit oregano.
Oregano.
Yeah. Pull some of that oregano out of your garage. Anyways,
like a garage. All right,
you have to listen to last week's episode to get that.
Yeah, exactly. It's an inside joke.
It's an inside joke. It's not an inside joke if you're followers of the podcast.
That's right. Yeah.
You're all laughing along with us. Anyway, to the D4. This is only the fifth. This is only the fifth Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel 2018, 19, 21, and 22.
Now here's a quick we said this before. We were going to use a D4. We're just going to talk about Crown Jewel. We're not going to take all the other Saudi events.
Yeah, it's just a Crown Jewel event. Yeah.
Just a Crown Jewel event. So what do we have as far as years? We've got
2018, 2019, 2021, and 2022.
Yeah.
of the
2020
4
was the
events.
only year that they missed. Okay.
Yeah, for the
So we've got-
pandemic.
So you're gonna roll the D4. What color is your D4? Or what kind of-
It's see-through with a skull inside it today, and what looks like moss, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
It's a skull or moss.
There's both. There's
Oh,
skull
okay.
with like green shit. It's
Okay.
yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna big a vote. Well, before you roll, let's both take our guess as to what we're gonna get.
Well,
it's only 25% chance.
That's right. I'm gonna go for 4.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't mind seeing Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul again, because I really enjoyed that match.
I do want to watch it again. I am gonna go. I'm gonna say you're gonna roll a 2.
A 2, which would be Seth Rollins versus The Fiend in a Falls Count Anywhere match in the main event. Just to quickly recap, Crown Jewel 2018 is DX versus the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah, holy shit.
Which I actually think I've never watched because I didn't want to.
Well, that was one. I know there were a lot of people that boycotted that first one.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
I watched that event. I just didn't watch the main event because I didn't want to tarnish my.
Yeah, there was, and I understand it. Yeah, questionable, but hey, you know what? It is.
But I'll watch it.
It is.
If it get number 1, I'll watch it. And Crown Jewel 2021 is Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Okay, here we go.
So you said 4, I said 2.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be?
We have 3.
Hey, we get neither of them. We get 2019.
2019.
Or no, we get 2021.
Yeah, you're right. 2021. Right.
2021. That is the main event of that is Roman Reigns versus Brock
hold
Lesnar.
the fucking phone here a second.
Yeah.
I remember this fucking show, and this is a great show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's some good matches on this show.
Yes. Specifically, one Zelina Vega is on this match, and any event that has Zelina Vega.
The first match, Edge versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match, is one of my favorite matches from 2021 completely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm into this.
Yep,
Hell
this
yeah.
is gonna be great. All right, so next week we will be next week we're reviewing Crown Jewel 2021.
Yep, that's right.
Man, I think. Oh, that's okay. So we did next week's pod. Next on my list of things to remember to do, plug the Instagram at punkstalkwrestling.com. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably already know we have got an Instagram, but that's where we are right now. We also do have a Patreon where the unedited full episodes will be up. If you're a patron, yeah, we do got to find a word for that. If you're a patron, you get unedited episodes. If you're not a patron, you don't.
It's as simple as that, really, isn't it?
It's as simple as that.
If you want that extra oregano, then you need to.
If you want that extra cardamom, coriander, not cardamom. Cardamom, that's a whole different.
That's a whole different spice.
Whole different thing. It's a whole
Is
different
that
spice?
spice?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's cardamom a spice? No, I don't think.
I don't think she heard you. Yeah.
No, I don't think she realized I was yelling at her and not yelling into the microphone at you. That's definitely for the patrons.
Yeah.
That one's definitely for the patrons.
Oh god.
Oh man. Yeah, man.
Are we done?
I think we are. Well, yeah, I think we're done. Go to the Patreon. Go to the Patreon. Just go to Patreon and search Punks Talk Wrestling. You'll find us. Or search Punks Talk Wrestling and you'll find us, along with a lot of other CM Punk stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, tell us what you want. Tell us if you have an idea that you want us to talk about.
And we'll talk about it.
If it's about wrestling, we'll talk about it. If it's about punk music, we'll somehow get it, because one of the things that we don't do much is talk about music at all in this wrestling podcast.
We should definitely do that.
We'll sprinkle it in when it
we'll get there
naturally.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about each other's bands and what we're doing musically.
Yeah.
That's really all that's actually important to us. So once we get that whole thing with Spotify figured out, how we can like sprinkle in
music and shit,
tracks,
we'll figure that out.
We might put the Punks Talk Wrestling playlist.
Yeah,
together
we should definitely do that regardless, actually.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good.
Sound off in the comments. Is that a thing that people still tell you to do? Sound off?
Sure thing,
Smash that like and subscribe. Is another thing that I've heard people say.
That's a YouTube thing, though.
That's a YouTube thing. All right. Well, if we put this...
I think you could.
smash
Oh,
whatever-
you can rate the podcast 5 stars
can.
on Spotify.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can probably rate it on iTunes. That is a thing you can do. Rate and put a comment on iTunes. It helps.
Yeah, it helps.
Say good things. Say bad things too. If you hate it, that's fine. Just give it 5 stars.
Give it 5 stars, but you can just talk shit.
You can shit on us all you want.
Yeah, say the honestly, the worst shit you possibly want to.
We'll eat it up. We'll eat it up like like cat shit. That's a bad reference to movie. What the fuck? I'm losing it all because it falls apart at the end.
Because it's the end of the podcast. Yeah.
You know what movie I'm talking about, right? I won't eat cat shit. No, I won't eat cat poop.
No, I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Fucking my brain is broken.
Yeah. Well, I could have told you that.
Anchorman.
Oh.
Anchorman. After he says, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Oh, right.
And then the dude at the restaurant makes him eat cat poop.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, no, I will not eat cat poop. God damn it, it's so bad. This is so bad.
I need to see that movie. I ain't watched that in a while. Are we in the Patreon bit now? I think we are.
I think we are. I think this whole episode has probably been a Patreon. What did we do? We did everything. We know what's next week's podcast. We plugged the Instagram. We plugged the Patreon. Hey, where can you know what? Oh, a new thing we forgot to plug. Where can everybody find you?
Me?
Yeah, I'm you.
What do you mean me? How's that new?
No, where else can they find you? Like me. They can find me at RWHellborn669 on Instagram.
Oh, you can
everywhere.
find me at It's Chris Newman because
There you go.
My full name, but it's there.
It's Chris Newman.
At It's Chris Newman.
Yeah, if you haven't figured it out from the many times that we've just said our full name in podcasts, the C in CJ stands for Chris.
Yeah, but what the J stands for, you'll never fucking know.
Yeah, the J, if you guess it in the comments right, we'll probably
do nothing.
We'll probably do nothing. Yeah, we'll ignore it.
Yeah.
If you're right or if you're wrong.
Yeah.
So
well, just
don't bother.
don't. No, you should still do it.
You should. It'll be good for engagement posts. Just start putting every J name in the comment, and if you get it, you know what? If you get it right, first person to get it right gets the love and adoration of us.
And that's worth a lot.
Good for you. And if you know what the W and RW stands for, same thing. Good for you. Clap, clap, clap. Feel good about yourself. You know some personal information of us. Steal our identities. Yeah, I think it's over. I think we're
done.